Chicken Dinner brought to you by Splash Sports here on a Monday morning. The Final Four is set in the NFL. We'll talk all about it. We may not want to talk all about it, but we will do our jobs like we always do. Laurence Holmes will be joining us later on in the show to react to from the Bears' perspective, and he's a big college guy. He has thoughts on Monday night as well and looking ahead to Championship Sunday. Sam, you hanging in?
I can't believe you didn't balk. That threw me off. I was waiting for the long
I forgot.
one.
I totally forgot this whole thing, like just with the Bears getting eliminated in the way that they did. I totally forgot to balk. But you know what it was? I think I've done shows where I didn't balk because it wasn't with you. And so it slipped my mind. Sorry about that. Should I start over?
I had to text Tanny the other day because I heard you on the score.
Oh, God.
And Tanny chopped up for your intro. He chopped up that one.
I heard it. Yes. I'm sitting there on hold waiting to go on. I'm like, oh, damn. Of course, Tanny got that one.
I love when they drop the Wanstead on you. Good Polish kid.
That was Ditka.
Oh, that was Ditka.
That was Ditka way back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, I cut that up a long, long time ago. It was when Ditka was announcing preseason games. Yeah, I've been on the afternoon show, Lawrence's show, Thursdays on 670 The Score during the playoffs. Catch him on FM soon. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. We've been talking about Loveland overs every week, and those have hit. It just barely hit today. But that's not the big story, Sam. The big story is, do we start with the Bears or do we start with the Bills? What do you want to do? Which loser?
Well, we'll get to the Bills. I have plenty on the Bills. I got tanked yesterday, too, during that game. No surprise. I had to because it wasn't looking good. We started doing rally shots. Then they rallied. We'll get into all that. I got the new merch. Look at that. Bang, bang. New red hoodie right there.
Here it is.
It's like a glove. We're going to give a hoodie away at the end of the show. More details on that coming up. I think we have to start with the Bears. It just happened. We just watched it. You've got your Bears merch on. That throw by Caleb, running backwards, launching it through 19-degree weather that felt like 6 on 4th down. Got to have it. How many quarterbacks can make that throw? 2? I came up with Mahomes and Rodgers. Like, maybe there's another one.
Yeah, that's a Rodgers throw. That's good.
The acrobaticness of the throw and the accuracy, but also the strength to get that off again through the wind and through the weather and all that. Just an unbelievable throw. And then he throws it to the other team late. So the Bears cover if you took 4, 4.5, obviously 3.5 too, but those were the early moves when that line opened up. They came in, pow. They bet the Bears plus 4.5 and 4. And the Rams win the game. The under move was real. 51.5 to 48.5. That thing didn't have a chance to go over the total.
Nope.
And the weather really benefited Chicago. It benefited their ability to sort of corral Matthew Stafford. He was missing throws. That was everything the Bears needed. Because if that game's in LA, it's a different story. Obviously, I think the Rams on a fast track, it's a much different story. And we probably do get that over. We probably get like a game in the 30s both ways. That throw, though, was unbelievable. And Chris Collinsworth, who does tend to get a little dramatic, said, I've never seen anything like that in all my years. I think given the situation, he could be right. I'm still flabbergasted at how that connected.
Yeah, I don't think he was being hyperbolic at all, which is crazy because this guy's been doing it forever. He's seen a lot of football. Think of all the finishes, the exciting finishes that we've witnessed with him at the mic on Sunday Night Football. But the manner in which that happened, I'm wearing the Bears gear, figure rep them. They had a great year. There's a lot of teams, not all of them, but there's a handful of teams that ended their season this weekend that had good years. It isn't only championship or bust in this league. Now, it's fair if you bring that perspective, but I'm not going to bring it with the Bears because they have a young coach. I think they got their coach, and I think they got their quarterback who's in the first year of this offensive system with said head coach. So it was a very good year. I mean, I've got an upset kid, an upset wife upstairs, and it's kind of how I feel. What I was telling him to calm down about is how I feel about the season overall. Now, it's a dangerous tale because there are a lot of people that have felt very positive where they came up short at the end of a season. And then the next year, it doesn't turn out so well. But I'm confident. I mean, they're not going to have great years every year. But when you have that coach and you have the quarterback and you feel that you're secure for quite some time there, that's a game changer. It changes everything. It's not what some of these teams, the situation that they're in. Oh, I don't know, like the Houston Texans. Or like when we grew up and the Bears did have a good year from time to time, how they would be. Awesome defense. Everything's got to be perfect because we don't have the quarterback. So we can't make any mistakes. We have to be opportunistic on that side of the ball if we want a chance at going deep in the playoffs and possibly winning a Super Bowl. When you have the quarterback and the play caller, all of that is different. All of that is different. As long as Caleb's healthy moving forward, they should be in the playoffs. But funky years happen. The Chiefs and the Ravens didn't make the playoffs. Mahomes and Lamar were on the sideline having a very long offseason this year. You're right about that throw. I will say on the interception. Now, I do want to be careful. I want to be careful about making excuses because it's been a positive season. That was a phenomenal interception by Curl. Like that diving play, that was a really, really good play. Ben Johnson. Like you've got the old heads at halftime, Dungy, Garrett, a lot of people watching the game, ripping on Ben Johnson for the fourth down decisions. We're doing this again. Just like last week, they were doing the exact same thing. You need to mention that the touchdown in the first half came on a fourth down too, if you're going to do that. You've got to be fair all the way around. Would the Bears have had more points at the end of regulation if they would have gone for field goals instead of going for it on fourth down in Rams territory? I think so, but we don't know so because those conditions were rough out there. And one of the times where people were screaming, take the points, it would have been a 48, 49-yard field goal.
I didn't mind his decisions to go for it on fourth down, and that's also who he is. He is unapologetically himself. I didn't like the one against Green Bay when they're at their own 32 or whatever. That's the only one I didn't like. Yes, it is what it is. I think some of the play calling is questionable because that's everybody's favorite thing to do because everybody's a play caller, especially on Twitter, especially in the Bears group thread. But this is not a Ben Johnson thing. This is a NFL-wide thing. I despised when they went for it on fourth. They were fourth and goal from the 2. And he's got the quarterback in the fucking shotgun, Joe. I hate that. I hate it. Yeah. I despise it. And he's not the only one that does it. A lot of coaches do that. They get cute. You need 2 yards, so we're going to move the quarterback to the 6 or the 7. I hated that play call. I didn't hate them going for it on fourth down. But you do have to understand that in the last 2 playoff games, the Bears were 3 of 10 on fourth down.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they were. I would also add that if you're not going to get it, the interceptions happened last week multiple times. It happened this week again. Who cares? The team's dumb for catching it.
Yeah, it's a punt.
They should just bat it down. Not a big deal at all. On the Rams side of things, Matthew Stafford was not good tonight in the elements. And that was discussed a lot when you said the move was real on the under. You were right. It popped up a little bit around game time because it felt like, are we going to get to 47? We didn't quite get that low. I was dead wrong on the total. I didn't expect Stafford to play like that. I also didn't expect these defenses to play like that. And I think that also had something to do with Ben Johnson's aggressiveness on fourth down. While we've seen it all year, he doesn't trust his defense. He could have trusted his defense on Sunday night. I mean, both defenses ended up playing very well. Not something that I was expecting. The weather did have something to do with it, of course, with the winds and all that. But if you're a Ram fan, thank Kyron Williams. I mean, that guy put the team on his back. When they had big drives, it was all him, and it was him punching it into the end zone twice.
It wasn't Puka, that's for sure. I thought the Bears were outstanding at covering Nakua, who had a prop in the 90s on yardage. 5 catches for 56 yards, but it's not like they didn't try. I mean, they threw him the ball 10 times. He caught 5 of them, but they were putting Gordon on him, and Gordon was doing his thing. I really liked what Dennis Allen did against Puka. because Puka did not kill them. To your point, Williams did have the 87 yards and the 2 touchdowns, but it was a good game. You had a chance to win. I think you kick yourself as a Bears player or a Bears coach because you had it, right? You're 15 yards away from winning that game, and Caleb went for it. I'm not going to roast Caleb Williams. That's not the type of show this is. But you get, 15 more yards, man. You're going to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
That's something that I think he will learn from. He made so many plays in that fourth quarter. I mean, just unbelievable. And then in overtime, the runs, he was using his legs, stretching for first downs. He was impressive. He was. He didn't win, but he was impressive.
That was a 52-yard dime from where he was on the field to come out in the back of the end zone. 52 yards.
Off his back foot.
Yeah, well, right? Every time we're talking about a miraculous play this guy makes, his body's all over the place.
Yeah.
He's always off center. He's making some crazy throw that he shouldn't be. And it's one of those in the moment. No! Yeah! It's that. I got caught doing that in that play. He's at the 20, 25, 30, 35, going the wrong direction, right? He's at the 4. Where is he going? And then they get the touchdown. It was like unbelievable, man. I thought they were going to do it again. Come back in the final 2 minutes of the game. You had did you have the feeling they were going to overtime? I did.
I thought he was going to go for 2.
You did. I did. Oh man, that would have been insane.
I thought it was right there for him because there wasn't a lot of time left. Usually coaches say if there's around 30 seconds, they think about it. Because if there's a minute 50 left or whatever, you have way too much time for the other team to come back down and kick the game-winning field goal, or at least attempt to. I thought there was like a 50-50 chance he was going to go for it. And Collinsworth actually brought it up. He brought up going for 2 maybe. And, because we've had the woes of kicking in Chicago, as everybody in the beloved knows, the Cody Parkeys of the world. So, can you imagine if they would have missed an extra point to tie the game? Oh, but it's a great game. I mean, a lot of these games were really good. They were entertaining. The Seattle game was not.
Well, that was entertaining because I had the -7, but that was the only reason.
Yeah, you had to love that one, man. That was a rocking chair winner. And we did also talk about on this show teasing Seattle down and Chicago up. Because I love the idea. The total's coming down. We're hearing about the wind. It's going to feel like 2 degrees, and you can get 10 points now with Chicago. I thought it was a really good leg. And then, there's nothing easier than that Seattle -1 leg. Holy cow. They beat the doors off San Francisco.
Darnold really hurt. They didn't need him to do much. They leaned on the run game. Obviously, you had the turnovers. They were spectacular in the red zone. San Francisco never entered the red zone all game. That defense is something fierce. And for some reason, when many people discuss the best defenses, they jump to Houston, they jump to Denver. Seattle might be better than both of them. Say what you want about the numbers. Numbers-wise, they're right there. Walker stepped up, had a great game. Good time to have your best game of the year. He got into the end zone 3 times. They didn't need a lot from JSN. He ended up getting into the end zone, but they didn't need much. The game starts with a kickoff return for a touchdown. And Sam, when it's 17-0 after 1 quarter, I'm like, this is ball game. They're up by 3 scores with that defense. The Niners are done.
I remember telling one of my buddies at the bar after they took the kickback, I said, whatever the number is, lay it live. Yeah. I said, this is over. You could feel it. And mind you, that's after I had at least 10 shots of whiskey last night. The building erupted. And I'm like, all right, I think the live line went to 10.5 or 11.5 or something. He's like, I don't know. That's a big number. I'm like, lay it. And then by the time I got home, it was dead in the water. 41-6. How close was that total? It was like right there. 40, if you had the over.
2.5 points over. Would you agree with me that this is another situation, loser in the divisional round, they can walk away with their heads held high? That was given the situation, Bosa, Warner, Kittle, all these injuries, And look at how far San Francisco ended up going.
Yeah, they won 12 games. I mean, that's remarkable for a team that had so many injuries. Now, they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth. You don't want to lose by 35 points to one of your rivals in the playoffs, but the fact that they even got to double-digit wins with all of that medical jumbo, whatever. I mean, like, it just like, I was impressed. And, Vrabel's going to win the coach of the year, but I would not be disappointed at all if Kyle Shanahan won it. Him and Saleh were just awesome this year. So not the way you want to go out, of course, but in totality, really good season for San Francisco. Really good season for Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo, no, failure. I couldn't get out of bed this morning, man. I didn't look at my phone because I rolled over at 7:00 in the morning and I had 82 text messages. And I'm like, I'm not doing this right now. And I had 35 notifications on the bird. And all those. I haven't even looked at most of them because Twitter's just a hellhole. Because there were people that were rooting against me, and understandably so. That's part of the game. That's the life we live, right? People want to root against you. They want to see you fail. Well, I don't know that I failed. I felt like I made a good bet and, several good bets at, 8-1, 9-1, 12-1. And even despite all the turnovers, they got a chance, man. I don't know. Let me ask you this, because I don't want to get too ref driven right now. That's not why the Bills lost, because of the refs. But what was the difference between the interception in Denver and the non-interception tonight? Like, please explain to me.
Different refs.
I mean, that's it. But the same play. It's the same play.
The first thing I thought of.
Buffalo guy. I thought he caught the ball. I'm getting ready for a touchdown drive.
I thought he did too.
I'm like, this is it. This is their moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, wait a minute, that's intercepted. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I did not agree with that call at all. That was the talk last night. Everybody, catch or interception? Catch or interception? A lot of people very undecided. I've heard arguments on both sides of it strongly as well. Now, I'm not going to bang the table. You had a lot on the line. I did not. I'm not going to bang the table and say that it was 100% a catch, but I really didn't see the evidence that it was an interception. But here's the thing. Here's the problem. It's 2026. We still don't know what a catch is. We don't. Sam, I mean, we've been talking about this since there were controversial calls with Detroit Lions with Megatron back in the day at Soldier Field. And we were younger guys watching those Bears, like, what was that, in the 90s, early 2000s? And I think that's what got it started. And still, on a week-to-week basis, we watch as many of these games as we can every single week. We see every big play, big game, big result. And we sit here and we talk about it and we preview it all week, every week. And it sounds like I'm going over the top. I'm not. I don't know what a catch is. Like, it's decided differently every week, depending on the crew, depending on the game. Like, there was a Ravens game where the guy took 3 steps, their tight end. And I'm like, well, that's a touchdown. And then, no, it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know what a catch is. And they've found a way to make it more complicated than it needs to be.
Just sucks to go out that way.
Yeah,
and I think my handicap was right. Allen just had to be superhuman, and he was human. They had 100 more yards. They had 28 first downs. They were 10 of 15 on third down, but they turned it over 5 times. The Bills didn't even punt in the game. Like, if I would have told you that the Bills would have, 449 yards, 10 of 15 on third down, 28 first downs, and they're not going to punt, they're winning. But Allen with a brutal turnover before the half. Like, I don't know what that was. He was running around dangling the ball like Walter Payton used to, and he got cracked. The one interception was really bad. The one we just talked about that was, I think that was a bullshit call, but you can't turn the ball over 5 times in the playoffs and win. You just can't. But if it's not this year, man, like, when is it happening with that quarterback and that team?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not betting them next year. No way. You ain't getting my money again after that. And to make things worse, I told you I didn't look at my phone until what time did I text you back? Like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock? Yeah.
Let me bring people behind the curtain here. Sam is a guy that will almost always, just about immediately, if he can, respond to you on anything, and nothing for like a day. I'm like, oh
No.
man, he's hurting.
No.
He's
I was
hurting, and I
pissed.
totally get it.
Yeah, I was pissed. One of my buddies who we went in on a bet together, he texted me literally right when the game ended. Well, good call on that one. And I was like, are you serious right now?
Was he pointing a finger or like together?
Well, because he lost 1,000. He's pissed because he lost 1,000. I lost more than that because I had multiple bets.
Yes.
I was just pissed. And I knew that morale was low, obviously. Now I did get some nice DMs. The DMs were nice. The tweets at me were not good. And look, the boys were having a good time. We were out. We were firing drinks. Guys were betting Bill's second half, live money line. Like, we had a really good crew. And when Prater made that field goal to go to overtime, you're starting to believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended. Bill leave. But then you had that pick. And yeah, it was deflating. And I couldn't look at my phone all morning. I couldn't do it. So I decided that I was going to continue my misery, and I ended up watching the Netflix 30 for 30.
Oh, you did? I thought you were joking when you tweeted that.
No, I watched it.
Why?
Not the Netflix, the ESPN 30 for 30 on Netflix. Yeah, I watched the Four Falls of Buffalo this morning.
Oh my God. Okay, had you seen this? Did you see it before or no?
I saw it years ago when it came out, but I decided I need more. I need more pain. Let me watch the documentary of them losing 4 straight Super Bowls. I had Mike Shope texted me last night. I am so sorry. I'm like, these Bills fans were in my corner, man. And we both do that show, Shope and the Bulldog. We love doing it every week. I had so many nice messages from those people saying, like, thank you for putting our team on a pedestal. Thank you for talking about that team. We really enjoyed all your guys' content this year. I felt like a Bills fan last night. Now I know what it's like.
Is it too harsh to say that loss is Josh Allen's fault?
It was. Yeah, he wasn't good enough.
Yeah, it was.
Point blank.
Oh, I feel bad for him. He's crying. Should be crying. Sorry. He fumbled it 3 times.
Yeah,
he
was
in that game.
Yeah, and he got one of them back, right? I think.
Yeah, he got one back. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they were just careless with the football. The interceptions just wasn't great. And then penalty-wise, I didn't look at the total penalties. Let's see. They only had 5. Denver had 3. But there you go. I mean, that's why the game was won. 5 turnovers to Denver's 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they played a clean game, they're going to the Super Bowl. Like, they're gonna win next weekend, but they didn't, and they deserve to lose because they did not protect the ball.
On the other side, man, I feel like this guy gets the raw end of the deal a lot, and maybe that should stop a little bit. Bo Nix is one tough son of a bitch.
Yeah,
he played with a broken ankle. What? Yeah. So that jacks up the AFC Championship game. Patriots fans are happy. Broncos fans, yes. And then no. They were happy for an hour. Then Sean Payton returns to the podium like, yeah, we don't have our starting quarterback. We're going to have to roll with Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Championship game. That sucks for viewers. It sucks for everyone, but Patriots fans, I think. 5.5 is the number.
Yeah, I got bet up too. They opened 4.5 at Bet Online, Dave Mason's book, and right away, boom, boom, to 5 to 5.5. And we'll talk about Championship Sunday a little bit later on in the show after we talk to Laurence Holmes. CJ Stroud was dog shit today, man. I mean, I turned it off. I turned the game off. I'm like, I'm not watching this. This is a disaster of a game. He was so bad. And, you know, the Patriots, poor Jeff, those Patriot fans from the video 2 weeks ago are still just pummeling Jeff because he said the Pats were Fugazi. And, you know, the Chargers weren't good. The Texans were, I don't know about worse because they did score 16 points, unlike the Chargers who had 3. But the Chargers and Texans were just so bad. And maybe the Patriots were just that good. I don't know. Like, the people I talk to in Vegas are like, yeah, I don't know how good they are, but they keep finding a way. And look, Vrabel had a game plan for Stroud. We're going to just pressure him, and we're going to hurry his process, and we're going to make him move quickly. And he's just not, well, he wasn't today, at least. He wasn't a good processor. And I mean, he was just, it was laughable, some of those interceptions that he threw.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. A lot of these losses, we could say, okay, yeah, let's put it on the quarterback. 4 picks, 5 turnovers. You mentioned 5 turnovers for the Bills. Well, it was 5 turnovers for the Houston Texans. Was it a successful season for them? Because now they thought they had their franchise quarterback. They have a top-notch defense. They like the coach, and there's more questions about the quarterback right now than ever before.
Don't know. I think it's easy to grade Chicago season, San Francisco season, Buffalo season. I don't know.
It's a tough one. I was thinking about that, and I wasn't sure how to answer it.
I think it's very hard in that division. Like, I don't even know what to give Jacksonville because you had a home game. You should have won. You were the better team for 40 minutes, and then Allen did what Allen had to do late. I don't know, man. That's a really good question. I don't trust them. I never have. And I think both of those teams, for that matter, like, I just don't trust. Like, I would have never put Houston or Jacksonville into the Super Bowl this year. I know some people that did, but I don't believe in their organizations. And maybe that's not fair. It's a horrible game, though, by Stroud. Awful.
The elements certainly had a lot to do with it. An 8-turnover game in New England and Houston. Drake May, they don't need him to be great every time. He has not been great in the playoffs, but that's okay. They're marching on to the AFC Championship, and they're favored by 5.5, 6 points. I think it's time to give the Vrabel's defense a little bit more credit than we've been giving them. It's been discussed like, okay, it's all about May and the deep ball for much of the season, and his receivers made some phenomenal plays today. But that defense, they've been getting after it. They were kind of an afterthought throughout much of the season, thinking, okay, they're probably an average defense, whatever. They're playing poor opponents, but they've been balling out this playoffs.
Think about in the summer when you and I were doing the show on Bet Sweats, and all summer long, the 2 sexiest teams were the Bears and the Patriots. And if those teams didn't bullseye the coaching hire, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's the definition of a bullseye. The Patriots won 4 games last year, and now they're in the AFC Championship. The Bears were a disaster under Eberflus, and they're going toe for toe with the LA Rams. Like, those teams are in great spots. But as we've learned, Commanders last year, Lions last year, nothing is guaranteed in this league. Nothing.
Yep, that's what gives me pause about the Bears' future just a little bit. A couple of teams have hired. They hope they got their longtime guys, but a ton of openings. We'll talk about that coming up. This is Chicken Dinner, and let's bring in Laurence Holmes, afternoon host on 670 The Score, 2 to 6 p.m. Central Time, and check out the House of L podcast. Subscribe on YouTube as well. Laurence, were you ready for it to end? I wasn't ready for it to end this way. I kind of figured it's going to be a coin toss situation, but what are your feelings now that's wrapped up about an hour ago?
What a crazy ride that the Bears took us on this year. And no, I wasn't ready for it to be over at all. Like, when you see that play happen, what I'm dubbing the Tecmo Bowl throw, because that's what it was.
Yes, we've all done that. Yeah.
That was the back Joe Montana up to the opposite end zone, and for some reason Jerry Rice is open 100 yards down the field. That's what Caleb Williams did on that throw, and you're thinking, man, the magic carpet ride continues with this guy and this team. And I honestly, this is the thing, and I mentioned it on House of L. I'm sure that I'll talk with Speaks about it. And it was inside of our show group chat. I wanted Ben to go for 2.
Yes.
Okay.
He had been gambling all night. He'd been gambling the entire night. And there are a lot of old schools that are like, man, he should have taken the points. And my whole thing was man, if you lose the way that you've been playing all season. And I don't know. I think that maybe there would have been like it would have stung, but I think most Bears fans have been like, I totally get it. And that's how this guy gets down. And that's the way that they should play going forward.
That throw, we talked about it earlier, of course. And I said there were a handful of quarterbacks in the history of the league that make that throw. And Mahomes is one of them. Rodgers is another one. Maybe Allen, but probably not. I mean, like, how do you even explain? Like, if somebody hadn't seen that throw, how would you explain? I mean, you said Tecmo ball, but like the degree of difficulty is an 11 out of 10, man.
I'm sad that John Brink has passed away for a lot of reasons, but the sports science on that throw would be amazing. Like the physics of it, Sammy P. Like the actual physics of, wait, he was 45 yards away because I think his foot was on the 40, back foot was on the 40 when he let go of that ball, and Kmet was pretty deep in the end zone. How do you make that throw? I kept laughing watching, like running it back and watching it, because I feel like you guys all grew up. Sammy P, you're a Catholic League guy too?
Yeah, Carmel.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, Carmel guy. That felt like old school Catholic League basketball where someone's tugging at your shorts while you're trying to get a rebound. That's what Cole Kmet was out there doing, was tugging on his shorts so that he couldn't go up and try and make the play. The whole damn thing to me was so impressive and improbable. And every time I feel like we see Caleb Williams make one of these plays, I am struck by how every time we see him make one, we go, that's the best one. That's the impossible play. He'll never be able to top it. And then he comes up with something that tops it. Like that throw is absurd. Like there's no way that that's supposed to work. It's everything that they tell you not to do. But in a fourth down situation where you got to make something happen, he's able to make it happen. And it's been all year long.
So the Bears are a prime example of a team that will get a lot of chatter. And for next season, it will be to the negative in the betting circles. There's no doubt about it. Me and Sam already know it. We haven't even talked to anybody about it, but it's just what it is, because there is a team or two every year that do something similar to what the Bears did. And the example last year, I would say, is the Minnesota Vikings. And things went bad for them this year, right? For different reasons. Now, they made a different decision at quarterback in the draft a couple years ago, and they had to go down that road. So it's a little bit of a different situation. And we're going to hear all offseason about the Commanders comp, right? Which is why you need to be careful with the Bears love and the cup overflowing constantly about, well, it's just a matter of time. Now they're going to win a Super Bowl in the next couple years, because that's how it goes. But the gambler that's going to say, you know what, that's not sustainable. Those turnovers on defense, you can't do that again. You can't have 7 times where you're trailing in the final 2 minutes and you come out on the other side and you end up winning those games. Where do you come out on this? You think these are different rules for Caleb and this group and this coach? Or would you kind of lean on history? You know what?
I'm going to
the other way.
I'm going to lean on history, Joe, because I was listening to Sammy talk about that while I was in the waiting room. The Chiefs thing is really interesting to me. And the reason why is because what was the narrative on them? Look at all of these close games that they won. Look at all of these one-score games. Was it 13 one-score games for them last season? And then that flipped on its head this season. And the Washington comp, I think, makes sense too, where you have this breakthrough with a quarterback that you know is incredibly talented, and something happens. You could add Detroit to the mix. Like Detroit thought they were going back. They thought that they were going to be the team that was going to be hurt and wounded and walk themselves back to that spot. You're not promised anything. The league is harsh. And with a full offseason for defensive coordinators to really look at what Ben Johnson likes to do, to figure out the personnel, then figure out how to maybe be more responsible with your rush lanes, against Caleb Williams to not let him get outside. That's another part. He's strong. He's good. He's athletic. Next year, some of those sacks are going to happen instead of not happening this year. All of that stuff will end up kind of balancing out a little bit. So yeah, but there's still room for growth. What I love about where the Bears are at is they've pretty much fixed their offensive line. And that's incredible to do in one offseason. I still think that they have to, my focus in the draft, and I hate that we're already talking about the draft, but
I was going to bring it up next, so please.
Defensive end and cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
You need them both. You got to keep going in that direction. Like, think of all the things that went right for the Bears. And maybe they were straight up scouting wins, or maybe they were coaching wins because Ben Johnson is just so good. They were never supposed to go into the season with Kyle Monungai being a real factor on the team. Like, that wasn't supposed to happen. You're not supposed to take the 7th round running back and not bring a veteran back. And they were able to do that, and it worked. CJ Gardner-Johnson was on the couch. No one wanted him. He was radioactive. No one wanted him in their locker room. The Bears brought him in. He did everything great. He was a really good addition. Even getting guys back, like doing the good stuff with the IR to return stuff. We're like, well, we'll hope that Kyler Gordon is healthy and comes back and plays. And then he kind of played himself back into shape last week. And then he comes out there and gives you the type of performance that he gave you tonight. There were so many things that they got right. Getting the center position right. Colston Loveland pick. All of these things that they got right. The universe has a way of balancing that. Mm-hmm. Now, my hope is that it doesn't, because this was as fun of a Bear season as I can remember since 2006. But my goodness, did they have a lot of good things happen for them throughout the season.
And the quarterback looks like a superstar. And as long as that marriage with quarterback and coach is good, the Bears are going to be in the position to win a lot of games. Do you get the sense that the front office is going to try and make a splash? We've heard Max Crosby for draft picks. Do you think that's going to happen, or would you just scatter your picks accordingly?
I think they'll explore everything, and as they should. Ben Johnson's running this franchise now.
Yeah,
and it's been pretty clear for a while that is the case, and he knows that he needs a more consistent pass rush. By the way, their pass rush tonight pretty good. They got home. They moved Stafford off his platform after that first drive, but they can't. I think that Austin Booker is turning into something. But I don't know if he's turning into your left end or your rotational guy that you put in passing situations to cause havoc. I think they need to go out and get more. The Max Crosby thing, I know that Max has a lot of respect for Caleb. Like, he's been singing his praises since they played back in week 4. He's done it on multiple podcasts talking about how good he thinks Caleb is. And he wants to get out of Las Vegas. That is a dead franchise that's going to take a lot of work to get itself to any level of respectability.
Jack was telling me during the game they need a new defensive coordinator. I'm like, no.
He's already there?
Yeah, I'm like, Dennis Allen's fine. He's fine. They put all their assets into that line, weapons, that backfield, everything on offense in Ben Johnson's first year, and it worked out to a T. Now they've got to attack that side of the ball. Dennis Allen is fine.
I love
it's still weird though, Lawrence. Like, these kids don't know what it's like to have a Bears team that can't score and can't move the ball. Like, we grew up, they couldn't get any quarterback play. They had to win with defense, and now the defense is the issue. It's just these kids don't even know what it used to be like.
Yep.
Joe and I worked with Doug Buffone long enough for Doug to tell us stories about Butkus just putting the defense on offense in practice. Mm-hmm. He's like, if we're going to be out here all this time, we might as well have the ball in our hands. So, yeah, there's a history of the defense being the lead dog. And now you've got a quarterback that's got some aura, as the kids say about him. He is magical. Like the stuff that he does, it doesn't make sense. And watching it play out this year has been a ton of fun. But I do think there's going to be some changes. And NFL coaches talk about this all the time. Like the team is never the same. You're going to put new pieces in, and how those pieces interact matters. So how do you go about making sure that you keep the progress going? I think Luther Burden and Colston Loveland were just phenomenal this season. And I think they're going to be the guys that end up being the lead dogs on offense. I think that's happening. Now, how do you make that work with everyone else? And do you need to get different types of players to kind of mess around with all the different formational things that Ben Johnson wants to do? It's going to be an interesting exercise to see what they think they need. What was Brad Biggs say? They got to go shopping at the linebacker store.
Yeah.
That's something that has to happen for them. Can you count on Kevin Byard having another all-pro season? I don't know. Like there's
probably not. Let's be real. Lean on history on that one.
Probably not. And Nashawn Wright, that's another found $20 bill in your pocket, where that's a guy that was just like around. He was a depth piece for you, and he ended up being one of the league leaders in interceptions this year, and had the crazy forced fumbles. And there was a lot of planning and good football, but there was also some luck. And I don't think that a ton of the Bears coaches are going to get poached, but I do think that some of them are going to get interviewed. And if Jeff Hafley gets a job, I don't think he will this cycle, but if he does, Matt LaFleur will be a fool not to come holler at Al Harris. The Steelers should interview Antoine Randall tomorrow for their head coaching job. So Eric Bieniemy, I imagine, will get someone's attention to be an offensive coordinator again. So a lot of stuff can change between now and August, and we'll see how the Bears do. But everyone pretty much there gets an A for how this season went.
No doubt. One more Bears question. I do want to get your thoughts on the NFC Championship game. I think you were hinting at it, but you didn't say his name. Feels like DJ Moore is going to be gone.
Yeah.
And he had that great catch, and I saw a lot of people pointing fingers at him again tonight. Again, the effort has come into question way too many times with that dude. Can you get anything for him?
It's weird, Joe, because he's given you magical moments this season too. He's made incredible plays. And in the moment, like watching it live, I'm like, that seems like a really bad throw by Caleb. And then you see the replay and you're like, ooh, you at least got to play defense on that. And then you run it back again and you go, oh, he wasn't even really running at full speed. Like the entire route, he wasn't running at full speed. And I do feel bad. Like I didn't play in the league, but I know that there are people who did play in the league that have already put the video up. And they're like, what is this? And this is not the first time that people have been like, is he giving 100% effort 100% of the time? Now, he got knocked around earlier in the game, and I wondered if he was concussed. And I wonder if that's something that we'll find out in the next couple of days. All I know is that in that moment, because of the trust that's been built up between those two, Caleb trusted that he was going to flatten out his route, and he didn't. And it might be the difference between them maybe even winning a Super Bowl and them going home.
I came across a picture of you, me, Hoodie, and Zaidman. We were doing UIC DePaul.
Yes.
It got me thinking about the old days naturally. So I remember listening to you when Joe was on the show. You had a whole ass band back then. You had Joe, Bronchitis, Herbie, like
Danny.
when you think of those
Annie,
days,
Ranji.
yeah, of course. But when you think of those days working with Joe back in the day, what comes to mind?
You're gonna get me emotional. Joe's been my right-hand man for forever. And I've told him this, so I'm not speaking out of school. He is the person in this industry that I trust the most. Period. His point of view, his approach to how the job should be done, like all of that stuff. And it's fun. But I will tell you that watching him and Roki's big brother, little sister relationship was probably the most fun as a host. Like when you look over and you see the way that they look at each other with complete love and yet utter disdain. It was just great. It was just great. And the Harry Carey video, the kicking of the back of the chair.
The chair. Yeah,
Yes.
the chair.
Yes. Like those.
I can't do that in 2026, right? Like,
No, you cannot. No, but neither could she, right? Like she couldn't do that video these days either. I don't know if that's gonna be allowed, but it was just great. And so seeing him go from the guy that we all knew about betting to being this guy is so gratifying because he was ahead of the curve on the industry going this way. And he was always trying to get me to go that way, but I just wasn't smart enough, right? I was like, I don't really bet that much. Like, so it doesn't, but he's like, no, this is going to be a thing. So seeing him, like Joe going down to the state house and covering it becoming legal in Illinois and making himself a player in that way, it just shows you like how much he cares about this from an industry standpoint and how hard he's willing to work. You know, I always talk about when we got paired together, we were kind of exiled. You know, I had the Hampton Holmes show. He was producing the morning show, and we were kind of thrown together on the nighttime show, and we leaned into that. And Joe was like, just make the show. Let's make the show that we always wanted to do. And without his faith that I could make that happen, I don't know if the next steps of my career. It's so funny. I was actually out with my brother today, and I was talking about how that time was like the most important in my career because we didn't care. We did whatever we wanted. Joe would tell me if I was like, you know, I feel like the segment went too long. He was like, it was good. I don't care that it went long. We didn't have supervision and we didn't get any sort of notes. We were able to do whatever the fuck we wanted to do. And it was great.
Yeah, it was. I think everybody that was associated with that show looks back on that time very fondly, whether they're in the business still or not, because we knew we were putting out a good product and we didn't need the input of anybody else. I don't know if that's still the case anymore. I appreciate all those kind words, man. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes, you know, you do have to grow from it too. And we all did. And you're still rolling with Tanny, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Being reunited with Tanny, it was one of the real gifts. And I always, like, my whole thing was I always wanted people to graduate off of the nighttime show and kind of go do their own thing. And everyone pretty much did that. So like, I take a lot of pride in the fact that, you know, Joe went on to become this and Herbie went and did the CHGO thing. And Tony is now, when he interviews for jobs, like he interviews at a director level, like, and not just I'm a producer, like he's a boss.
Laurence, I experienced it like after I got my news. Like it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
He's inviting me on a Zoom call to interview with him. Like it's awesome.
It's a really strange thing. And so I get really emotional about it. And I feel like it's such a good thing to have happen for everyone. And Joe, you'll get a kick out of this. And I revealed this on House of L, but I'll tell you guys, I kept it quiet. I kept it real quiet because I didn't want to be the reason why things went south. I had a Bears win the Super Bowl 30-1 ticket.
You didn't tell anybody. You never brought it up on the air.
Never didn't want to tell anyone. I actually looked at it this morning, and I was like, do I cash it out? Do I cash it out? And I had said if they won the game, I was going to consider cashing it out before the NFC Championship. But I've got that ticket right. I was like, you know what? Why not them? Because this year in the NFL was so weird. I went and I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm like, I'm going to.
You know when? Like what part of the season?
It was right after the Packers loss.
Okay.
It was after, and I was like, they were so close to winning that game. And I'm like, there's so much weird stuff in the NFL this season. Like the Eagles didn't look right. Mahomes got hurt. There was an opportunity, which is part of the reason why it feels like, man, like had they been able to pull this thing off, as good as Seattle is, and they're terrifyingly good, that with that guy playing quarterback this year, you have a chance in every single game that you play. So it's the only bet that I've placed in the last 6 months. And I remember where I was when I did it. I was at Old Pueblo in Lincoln Park, and I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? This is actually a good idea. And it was before I started drinking. So I know that I wasn't influenced by having a drink. And I still, like, I'm not even mad that I lost the bet because I think it was a good idea at the time.
You were there.
Hell of a ride.
You could have
hell
won
of a ride,
tonight.
man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So with that said, what do you think the Super Bowl is and who wins it now?
I think
it sucks for Denver.
It really does. And there's nothing they can do. Like they got to roll with Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah,
they have to. So give me Seattle and New England. And I will say that if New England wins, that puts some pressure on Caleb.
Oh, damn.
That puts Chicago's going to be like, hey, the guy in New England.
It's not too early.
Not too early, right? Like it's not too early to win those games. So I just see it, but Seattle's defense is so good. I think that Seattle ends up winning it, but all of us are waiting for the Sam Darnold implosion, right? Like we're all expecting it to happen at some point.
Yeah, the pumpkin game, right?
It happened last year, the two final games of the season. You're like, oh, I remember him. I remember that guy. But shout out to him. He has completely remade his career. And it doesn't seem like he's seeing ghosts as much anymore. But with a defense like that, their structure defensively, the way that they get after the quarterback without blitzing, Seattle's really, really tough, and they make good play callers look stupid.
Before you run, I made something for you.
Okay.
I heard you talking about this on the show the other day when Joe was on. I got you cartoonized, buddy. Look at that. Look at you.
Yeah!
You look hot, bro.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, you chat GPT'd me.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah. You got to send that to me.
We got to get you a hoodie too, man. You got to pick a color out. We got all the different colors now. We just got the merch store and everything. We'd love to send you one.
Oh, send me. I like that red one. I don't wear enough red. I wear enough color. Yeah. So, I mean, I can laugh and say that that's Alabama. It's totally fine. Make it work.
There you go. Okay, on the way out, Miami or Indiana?
There's no stopping that Indiana thing, man.
Whew.
And look,
it's Hoosier colors then too.
Look, when I saw that Alabama was playing them, I was with a friend of mine who's also an Alabama alum. And I was like, we're going to win, right? And I was like, no, we're not going to win. Like, we're not going to win. That Indiana team is so tough, top to bottom. And what Kurt Cignetti has done in Bloomington needs to be studied. Now, I get it. He basically transferred a whole team from JMU to Indiana, but you still have to make it work. And he's made it work. Miami has got, They've got guys at wide receiver and defensive end that I think that any NFL team should be looking at. But as far as a collection of a team, there hasn't been a better entire team than Indiana. So I'm also not a Carson Beck believer at all. I think there's going to be some team at the top of the draft that's going to make a horrible decision in drafting him in the top 10. But I don't see, with the way that their offensive line plays, even though Miami's got the dudes to come and get you, I think that they win this game fairly handily.
All right. Felder hates the whole quarterback class, even Mendoza, and it looks like he's going number 1.
I'm with Felder, but I will say this about Mendoza. I was down on him as a pro prospect until the last few games. And there's enough escapability with him that I think that it can work. He also seems like he's ahead of the game a little bit, like a smart guy.
He processes really fast.
Yeah, really quick. So I don't know that it'll happen immediately, especially considering where he might get drafted. But I think that he's got a chance. He's one of those guys where you'll be like, man, I didn't realize, like 3 years into his career, you go, man, that guy is getting better and better and better. Like maybe kind of like Bryce Young, where you look up and you go, oh, all right. Like I can see the vision of this now. But, I didn't have a Heisman vote. If I would have had one, I would have voted for him. He was exceptional. And then Diego Pavia would have called me an MFer and, whatever, right?
Yeah, that guy. Oh man, he made some mistakes. Way too many comparisons to Johnny Manziel. You don't want to be comped to that dude, but he found a way. Laurence W. Holmes over on X, afternoons 2 to 6 Central Time, 670 the score in Chicago. I guess you guys got to change that, huh?
We will on February 2nd. I'm trying to convince them that Score 104 sounds better.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Wait, what are they? They're doing
104.3 the score because it's like the syllables are kind of same as 670 the score, 104.3 the score. I like Score 104. I think it stays in your mind. But I got special dispensation because I'm an old man. And I've been there the longest. So they were like, you can call it whatever you want. And I was like, perfect, because that's what I'm going to do.
And they're all going to copy you. I think you'll be right. And you were recording a new House of L, right?
I literally got it uploaded in time to jump on with you guys. So yeah, the House of L podcast. Thanks to everyone who has become a subscriber on YouTube. House of L, it's fun. And I'm going to take some days off because this season has been a grind. And the House of L fans have been like, I was doing a podcast every night leading up to the Packers game. And they said, if the Packers win, you have to keep going. So I've basically done like 14 nights in a row along with the radio show. So I'm going to give them 2 more pods. And then your boy is taking some time off.
Well deserved. I'll be there Thursday. If you're still there.
Oh, I won't be there, Joe. I won't be there.
Damn.
I'm gonna be somewhere sunny.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got Mexico after the Super Bowl, but I got to wait till the Super Bowl.
We'll see. I've been trying to figure it all out, like do the matrix of it, because of this run, I was working holidays and everything else. So I got all these comp days to use. Plus, I've been at the station for 29 years. So I have a lot of days, right? Yep. So, but now with the station relaunching on the 2nd,
God, man,
I was just going to be like, I'm out for the next 3 weeks. And then I was like, I can't do that. No. So I'm going to take a few days off at the end of this week and then come back. And then I'm thinking after the Super Bowl, that's when I'll bounce and get like 2 weeks off. But I need some sunshine bad. Like you guys know about Chicago right now. It's rough. I need to be someplace warm fast.
Yep, no doubt. All right. Thank you, Laurence. Really appreciate the extra time. And we'll be listening tomorrow afternoon. All right.
All right. Thanks, boys. And send me the hoodie. I'm down.
Yeah,
we're
for
in.
sure.
We got you.
For sure. And we've got the bookmark for the YouTube already set. Thanks, Sam, for getting that done. Good catching up there with Laurence Holmes. Brings a lot of perspective. Like, he's not waving those pom-poms, dude. He's not looking at it and saying, oh, nope, Bears are on their way. Guaranteed a Super Bowl next couple years. Life is good in Chicago Bears land. Like, no, he's being very realistic. But much like a lot of bettors are going to be looking at the Bears going into next season, Sam.
I love that he made that peekaboo Bears bet and didn't tell a single soul.
He's talking about the Bears 4 hours a day on the air every day. And then he's doing it for an hour on House of L on YouTube and via the podcast as well. And he didn't tell anybody. I'm shocked by that.
To be fair, I wish I didn't tell anybody to bet the Bills. So I see where he's coming from, because I told thousands of people to bet on that stupid football team. I'm looking at Odds Logic right now.
You're going to bet them next year, by the way. I don't care what you said. You're betting them.
No, I'm not. I won't. I usually do what I say. We only have 3 games on the docket. And if you count the East-West Shrine Bowl, the Senior Bowl, and the Super Bowl, we have 6 games left this football season. But we go to Championship Sunday. Patriots, 5.5, 40 at Denver. Seattle, 2.5, 47.5, home against LA. What do you like?
This is going to be challenging to talk about this AFC title game all week. Like, we're doing it on this show. We're doing it on other shows. How do you value this? And one of our P1s, Kay Hilmers, hit me up on Twitter right away when I posted that AFC championship number. And he asked a very fair question that a lot of people are asking. What's the number if Bo Nix is playing? Well, it leads you to believe, holy shit, what is the market telling us here? So, like, what would your reaction? A line similar to Buffalo, Denver? Is that fair?
So let's see.
Denver close 2?
I can tell you my number with Knicks. It is, let's see, I got the Patriots 2 points better than the Broncos. And then Denver's at home. That's worth 3 points. It'd be like basically a pick 'em. Denver -1. So Knicks to Stidham is 6.
This is where I'm stuck. Wait. This is where we're at? Bo Nix is worth almost a touchdown?
No, not to me.
No, I know. But are you going to bet?
Well, I think that's why they opened 4.5, but then the money came in. It came in on New England. So clearly the number, while I think in a vacuum, you would say, okay, that's not the drop off. But at the same time, those guys laid 4.5 and 5.
Yeah.
So they weren't afraid. And, you know, a 7-point win is not the most difficult thing in the world in the NFL. So
I know.
I don't know how much higher it's going to go. I think we probably get 6 at some point, but I don't know where it's going to close. You have to think at some point there's going to be a move on the home team with a stingy defense. That has to happen eventually.
Yep. Stidham has played 1 snap this year. It's a kneel down. His 1 snap is a kneel down. He has 4 starts in his career. Usually he just comes in for mop-up duty. In his 4 starts, he has 1 win. So, you know, Sean Payton could say what he wants. He's trying to instill confidence in his team that just made it to the AFC championship game, and they're going to be a home dog in this spot. They should be a home dog in this spot. New England just impresses again, and again. And I'm telling you, man, that defense, like what they did today, did you see how many pass deflections they had?
No.
14.
I told you, I turned it off. I saw the 4th interception and I turned it off.
Yeah, no, they've been impressive, but I will say it's not like May is playing at that MVP level. Neither did Stafford tonight, but that's a whole nother story. What do I like? You know, the New England Denver game, we'll figure something out. I'm tempted by Denver. I really am, but I want to see what this can get to. So if it's a 1-point move and, you know, within an hour of the line getting posted, as momentum comes up, as people talk about backup quarterback Stidham, and as so impressive with New England, do we get to 6? Do we get to 7 at some point? Maybe. maybe. And then you have to entertain the home dog. You do, especially Denver, a team that plays as well as they do at home.
I would take both dogs in a teaser if you made me come up with some sort of a bet right now. Get me Denver to 11.5 with a total of 41 at home. And then Stafford and Puka in them plus 8.5.
Plus 8.5.
Yeah, that's probably a good look.
Out of the weather. Yeah.
We have some time to think about this, obviously. We're just getting through the divisional round and it's Sunday night. I mean, the Bears' body is still warm. So it's difficult to look away from the Rams as a dog. For me, I'll speak for myself. But the Seattle defense is just so good. And I think, Seattle was much better than the Rams for 6 of the 8 quarters when they played in the regular season this year. So is Sam Darnold really going to go to the Super Bowl?
Is it going to be Sam Darnold against Drake May or Sam Darnold against Jarrett Stidham?
What did I say last week? Pick the better quarterback.
Okay, Matthew Stafford and Drake May. That would be it. Yeah, it's tough. Okay, is any part of you, we don't even know the bets yet. It sounds like you're leaning Rams. Maybe we'll see if you get there. Is any part of you going to be rooting against the Seattle Seahawks because it was the infamous bet we never made? And here it is at the doorstep, 30-1, 1 win away. It was Seahawks to win the NFC at 30-1. We were both in on it. It wasn't one person jumping on the other. You wrote it down on a Post-it note. This is the team I'm thinking in the NFC. You wrote the team. You wrote the number. You said, who did I write? And I said Seattle, and you showed it. It was Seattle, and neither of us bet it. And here we are in the NFC Championship game.
I won't root against. I won't
will.
do that.
I will.
Okay.
I don't want that.
I have no skin in the game. I hate this. I have nothing. I have no futures on any of these teams, although I only had the one future to begin with. I had one Super Bowl pick on Buffalo, and that's obviously dead and buried.
Some have a dozen. So they go 12, 13. Do we have half the league covered yet? Almost. Hi, Sam.
Seattle winning the Super Bowl. Can you imagine? The bet we talked about was 30-1 NFC.
Look at where we're at, man. Okay, so Rams, they're a dog. Them winning the Super Bowl wouldn't be crazy. That was discussed throughout much of the year. But where we're at is, like you just said, Sam Darnold winning the Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos, without their starting quarterback, winning the Super Bowl. Drake May. Win total's 8.5 for New England. New coach. It was a disaster under Mayo. It was a disaster the last year of Belichick. And he flips it in 1 year, and so much discussion about the easy schedule and all that. They might be winning the Super Bowl. Like 3 of these 4 results are crazy when you think about where we were at the start of the season.
Yeah, it really is remarkable. What a weird year. Seattle had the highest odds to win the NFC West. Highest. Mm-hmm. They were 12-1 to win the division. And here they are, a game away from the Super Bowl. The Rams all summer. Stafford's back. Oh, Stafford's hurt. Stafford can't throw. Stafford can't move. New England. We didn't know how good Drake May was. We didn't. There was a lot of optimism around May, and a lot of people close to the situation said that he could be the guy, but nobody saw him potentially winning the MVP of the league. And Denver, did you think Bo Nix was going to go to the Super Bowl? I don't want to say it's like one of the most improbable championship Sundays of the last 10 years, but it's knocking on the door. It's in the team photo.
Lawrence brought up Halfley possibly leaving. There's going to be a lot of changes, and we're talking about a team that made a change at head coach. One going down on Sunday night. One is marching on to the Final Four in Vrabel. And like you mentioned, both teams hit a grand slam with their head coaching hires. And there's a lot of teams. There's 9 teams that are hoping that they can hit a home run. And then there's one team that was the big story last week. They decided to extend their guy when the fan base, much of it is screaming, fire him. What did you think about the Packers' decision to extend LaFleur?
Stupid.
Hmm.
How do you watch that collapse and think, not only do we want to keep him, we want to extend him?
What makes more sense, firing LaFleur or firing McDermott?
I got a lot of texts about McDermott yesterday, and I mean, it's not his fault they turned the ball over 5 times.
But
So,
sometimes you do need to change things
yeah, but the answer isn't always, the next guy. We know
Mhm.
that. The grass isn't always greener. I can't wait to listen to our guys tomorrow at 3:00.
They're going to be on fire.
Yeah. I actually haven't had a conversation with Bulldog yet. We were texting before the game, and then Mike texted me. I told you I responded back to him after like 8 hours or whatever. I don't know. I don't think he's the problem, but I certainly wouldn't be devastated if they fired him.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would. At some point, okay, when are you going to take that next step? But like we established earlier, that was on Josh Allen. It's on the quarterback. Quarterback's got to play better. He's your franchise.
The roster wasn't good enough to survive a bad Josh Allen game.
Yep.
And guess what happened last night? The bad Josh Allen game.
Yep, no doubt. Our sponsor, Splash Sports. Go to splashsports.com, download the app, and check out the Quick Picks feature. You're playing player props throughout these NFL playoffs, so why not check out Quick Picks? We have a promo code. It is dinner. New users on Quick Picks get a $50 deposit match and a 100% profit boost with your first Quick Pick slip. 100% profit boost. They're going to double it. So use that promo code dinner. Check it out. See what it's all about over at splashsports.com. They are supporting Chicken Dinner, so give them a little bit of support. I'll keep checking, looking for some new stuff. I entered that big one and done that they just started with the first golf tournament of the year, and I was down to a couple guys, Sam. Of course, the guy I picked doesn't make the cut, and I didn't see how it finished up. The guy I passed on that I decided to save, he was like top 5 all week.
Oh, of course.
That's how it always
That's how it works.
Yep.
That's how it goes. I can't wait for the March Madness thing.
Yes.
Like the March Madness splash. I got a really, really nice DM from one of our listeners who said, Sammy P, number 1, love you. Number 2, I'm crushed. Number 3, it's still not as bad as Duke.
Oh, damn. Wait, is he keep the list?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't take it that way. I mean, like I was crushed when Duke lost because we had Duke futures and I don't want to say we were first to market on them. And, obviously they were very, very good. They were one of the best teams coming into the season, but we were betting 6-7-1 and we were in such a good spot. They were in total control. What were they up 14 points with 3 minutes to go?
Yeah. Look, I'll say this. When you're in on a future, you're in. You don't waver. You're all the way in. That's how Sammy P is with his relationships. When he makes a commitment, he's all the way in.
That's the way I live my life, all the way in.
Let me get another ticket. So it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to end poorly, or there's going to be a party, like with Travis Hunter last year, right? Like that was a part, like you were adding, and then bam, they all cash with hitting that one. So yeah, they're not all that easy. They're not all going to work out that way, but you go into it knowing that. That's how futures are.
Last season was so much more fun.
Yeah.
We had a much better ATS season. That's an understatement. We had the Eagles. I had Eagles NFC, Big, Barkley. We had Hunter.
Whew.
This year, not so much. Carson Beck and the Buffalo Bills. I did it to myself.
I hope we at least get JSN to cash. We'll see on awards night. Get something worth your while there. Okay. College football. On Friday, like a lot of people may have missed it because, hey, look, going into the weekend, people are busy. Like we try to get our last stuff out like Thursday at the latest Friday early in the morning, so you guys can check it out. But we know you're heading into the weekend. It's a long weekend for many people. MLK Day on Monday. So we understand if you missed it. We did a full breakdown of this championship game with our buddy Michael Felder. A lot of background. He played college ball with Ben Johnson. He had some stories there. I couldn't believe some of the things that he was saying. And he gave a straight up opinion. He had a strong opinion on the side and the total. So that's sitting there in the Chicken Dinner feed. Also on YouTube, subscribe at betchickendinner. If you're wondering where Michael's at, where we're at on that game, make sure you check out that episode. It's a good listen.
Yeah, here it is on YouTube. That's the show. And if you have not seen this yet, apparently I'm in a very giving mood today. I decided to have a pinned comment here on the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to win a free Chicken Dinner hoodie, there's the pinned comment. Free hoodie to whoever is closest to Monday's final score. Drop your predictions now. We only have 11 replies. I'm surprised. Usually I do that on X and there's 200 replies. But if you would like to win some free swag, all you do is go to the YouTube page for that show, and it's the pinned comment. Respond to that. Leave your final score. Whoever is closest will win a hoodie. Oh, that's a nice I didn't see Kimberly's comment right there. Man, do I miss you guys 5 days a week. Well, we miss you too, Kimberly.
Yeah, thank you so much. Some people don't always read the comments. So, yeah, we'll make sure you get your predictions on that specific YouTube episode, because that's where we'll be looking for the replies and to see who ends up winning that hoodie. So I know you've heard from some people that have Miami tickets. I've heard from some people that have Miami tickets. Our mutual friend Barry Roser was one of them. He's like, I haven't watched any college football all year. I know they have some game records on defense. They have talent. So I bet a future on them earlier in the year. Is there anything I can do? And he kind of answered his own question. He's like, probably not. I'm fucked at 8.5, aren't I? Like, what can I do?
Yeah, I think your only hope there is that Miami scores first, goes up ideally 7-0, and then the money line comes down to, I don't know, Indiana minus 150 or minus 160. I say that because I was in a similar situation last year. Because wasn't Notre Dame like a 9 or a 10-point dog against
more
Ohio
than a
State?
touchdown? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was 9 or 10, and I had that bet. I had the dime on Notre Dame at 10-1. So I didn't really want to lay minus 400 or whatever it was, and I didn't. And when the Irish went right down the field on that 13 or 14 play drive, took a 7-0 lead, I logged into the apps. And they had Ohio State minus 150. But at that point, I mean, the Jameson whiskey's flowing. We're up 7-0. Did not do it. But that would sort of be the roadmap, I think, for anybody looking to hedge. Because the last thing you want to do is, and I don't know Barry's price, nor is it my business. I'm going to guess it's, 25-1 or something like that, maybe more.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't everybody with the Miami, as long as you didn't do it in the last month, you got a pretty good ticket no matter what.
Sure. And there were some people that were betting them before the reveal show when they were, 7-1 to make the playoff. So imagine those prices, 90, 100-1 to win the whole thing when they were supposed to miss the playoff. And here they are in the title game. It's hard though. Like, it's hard to take a lot of that profit out, because if you're going to make a substantial hedge, we're talking like 9 units or so. Because if you want to bet 3 units, you got to risk 9. And then if Miami wins, you just took 9 of your 25 units and flushed them down the toilet.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, anybody holding Miami ticket, if you tell them Miami's in the championship game, Ohio State's eliminated right away, they're like, let's go. All right, I'm in a good spot. I'm not going to be in a position where I'm going to be such a massive underdog if they make it to the championship, because they're playing good ball. And then, Indiana's played to this level. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, so with this game, do you agree with the idea that we probably have some correlation? Meaning, if it's Indiana, it's over. If it's Miami, it's under.
Yeah, it does sort of feel that way. I will say we've seen some bets under, and we definitely have seen some bets on Miami, 8.5 and 8, because the whole screen right here on Odds Logic is 7.5. Everybody is 7.5. And I talked to a couple wise guys that really do well in college football, and I told the quote on one of our last shows where I said he's trying his best not to bet Miami. I think he said, I can't remember the exact quote. I don't have it in front of me. Actually, I could pull it up real quick. It was like, I'm trying not to make a Miami bet, and I really hope that I don't, because he's just terrified of Indiana. Here we go. I don't know how I'm going to get away from a Miami bet, but I hope I do. So that's somebody that does this very well and is very successful. He's terrified of betting against Cignetti. And I understand it. As somebody who bet against Cignetti for the first time last week, actually, I take that back. I did pretty well with Indiana this year. I bet them against Oregon. I bet Iowa against Indiana, covered that one. I had Indiana in the Big Ten championship. Then I had Indiana against Alabama. And that was the most fun I've had this year in 2026. I mean, that was an ass kicking. And then I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fade Indiana now. So having had to live through that 56-22, I don't know, man. I wrote about this. I wasn't even going to bring this up, but I did write about this in the tip sheet on Friday. And the headline of the story, I don't know if you saw the story, America loves Indiana. And it's the most public title game favorite in years. So there you go. Yet the line is still moving the other way.
I would assume that better that you respect, that you're referencing, now that it's at 7.5, it'll give him some reason not to do that.
He's not going to bet it. No, he's not one of those. He's not a gambler. He's a bettor. And there's a major difference.
Yep. So we were talking about the merch earlier on. If you're wondering about the tip sheet, the merch, how to subscribe to everything, it's all there on the Twitter page for Chicken Dinner. That's at chickenxdinner. And you see the link that's at the very top of the bio. It says Beacons, and there you go. It's got the link to everything, all of it, all the merch, the podcast, video stuff over on YouTube. So it's all right there. And I know you saw there are a bunch of orders coming in. People want their gear. I still have to make my damn order. I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, you muted yourself.
Oh, I did so well for so long. I'm trying to mute because I'm just like clicking and switching as I'm showing you on YouTube the Beacons page with the YouTube, the merch, all that stuff that Joe was talking about. I saw 20 orders over the weekend.
There you go.
We already had some people tweeting out their new merch. Our buddy Dan tweeted out. He got a Carolina Blue Fade the Bartender hoodie. I'll tell you what, I ordered this thing. This is brand new, this red one that I have on. So I ordered it on Tuesday. It was here Saturday.
Man. Yeah, that's the one Laurence wants. Lawrence wants that exact same one.
I might be able to get him a crimson one. The problem is that there are more colorways with the t-shirts than there are.
People wanted the Kelly green. They were complaining. I saw it.
I tried. if they don't offer it, I can't move mountains there. There are Kelly green t-shirts, but not hoodies. I mean, there's still 12 different colors in the hoodie. And Kelly green's a very specific color. You know, we have green. We just don't have Kelly green.
Yes, there's forest green. Yeah, we get it. It's a ton there. All right. So if you're watching via YouTube, give us a thumbs up. There's a lot going on tonight. I forgot to mention that at the start. I forgot to balk. It's a bit chaotic. Like, you had the Bills thing. I've got like an upset family upstairs because of the Bears. And my wife's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Am I okay? I'm not 13. I'm not 12. Like, I'm good. I'm rooting against this team half the time." Like, yeah, it was a fun season, and there will be more fun seasons, I think. Spotify, commenting on the various episodes. We love to see that. We can interact with you there. The comments on YouTube as well, and also Apple Podcasts. We saw some new reviews pop up. We haven't had a chance to promote that as well, but thank you for everybody that's there. Spotify, we definitely passed up the old show, and I'd like to see the Chicken Dinner reviews pass up the old show.
Really love this review from Big Dog 315. The boys are back in town. When you teach a man to fish, he can eat forever. You guys always talk about entry points and timing, as well as explaining exactly how the market reacts to things. Always keeping your audience on the sharp side of line moves and beating the market before the public reaction. best insights on futures and overall market views in the space. So thank you, Big Dog, for the 5-star review. If you would like to review, you can do it on Apple. You can also review episode by episode on Spotify.
Oh, very good. Very good. I think we covered it all. We'll be back later this week previewing Championship Sunday, and hopefully we'll have some other content throughout the week like we did last week, Sammy. Anything else to say here?
Fucking Bills.
That's how we got to end it, right? Fuck, man. I mean, what are we going to do next year?
Scored 30 points on that elite defense with
I know,
5 turnovers.
So you just write them off. I understand with the pain and everything, and now you understand what Bills Nation feels. And it's been much longer for them, and the wounds are much deeper. I get it. If you truly don't want to go back, it's gonna be a wild season to preview going up next year. Oh, hey, don't forget about Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson too, guys.
Maybe I'll just bet the Bears next year.
No. We're going to be fading that win total. I don't think so, but no doubt it's going to be fun. So we'll talk to you later this week to talk about Championship Sunday and get some merch. Rock!